Hello and welcome to Sarge's Custom Tutorials. Today we are going to be looking at the Frazetta Girls Icon Collectibles Frank Frazetta's Norseman figure, which is based on the Norseman painting. There's actually a couple other paintings that they used to get the design for more of the figure. You can see here, you can really only see the back of them, so they used a few other figures or a few other paintings as well to get the full look. Read that. Really nice packaging. The artwork is actually raised, so real cool and a really good looking figure. I didn't get either of the Fire and Ice figures. But when I saw that they were releasing a Conan, if you've seen any of my other videos, you know I'm a big fan of Conan. I decided I wanted to grab one, and this guy looks like kind of the most modular. He comes with a ton of stuff. We'll go through, and you can have a couple different looks for him. So I thought this would be a good one to give me like an idea of kind of what they do. And this is the same body as the Dark Wolf figure. They reused the body. But let's get them out of the box and take a closer look. The painting in the box you can remove, so you have a nice cool background there if you want to have them with a background on the shelf. So we have our figure here. A really nice looking figure. Great paint apps. Sculpt is awesome. Nice, there's wash on everything. There's paint over everything. Get close up here. A really nice looking figure. Great detail on the wings on the helmet. Hair kind of goes from like a red up here to kind of a brown up here, like it's dirty. Helmet, obviously, the helmet is removable. And the hair pieces are removable. There's 2 heads and I think 3 sets of hair, so you can do different looks, but get a better look at the face. Real clean paint apps. Really looks good. Yeah, here, it's boots. Take a look at the loincloth and the gauntlets. Boots, even all the accessories are painted really nicely. Additionally, it's yelling head sculpt. Good looking. And this shield, which I saw in one of the creators' updates, that this is a shield that's used in several of Frazetta's other paintings. So there's this sword, which is based on the Bloodstone painting. And then this is just kind of a generic Viking sword, but I like the little paint detail on the handle. Good wash on the blade. All the little damage bits look really nice. This is like a magic staff. I think there's a dark wash on the staff, but I can't really tell. Got a little bit of a wash there, and that looks nice. Additional gauntlet. All of his clothing and armor pieces can be removed, so that looks again real nice. Weathering looks really good. 2 splayed out hands. 2 fist hands. 2 gripping hands, and then on him comes the kind of relaxed hands. Not too hard to take out the hands. The weapon holding hands do have a vertical hinge, so that's nice. We have a additional belt that will holster a sword. So that's pretty cool. This is the other, so this is a loincloth that matches the a bloodstone painting. So you can kind of, we'll swap those out later. And then with the two heads, you have regular relaxed hair that's on both of them right now. And you have sweeping, kind of windblown hair. Not sure if I don't love the brown paint on the hair. It just looks odd that it's only on the bottom and not up here. At least it looks odd to me. And lastly, but very much not least, is this really nice soft goods cape. It's kind of faux fur. And it even has this like clasp, nice clasp detail on there. I didn't see this cape with the Viking look at any of the paintings that I looked at, but it looks cool. It very much fits the character. So for articulation, he has a double ball peg in the neck and head, so you get pretty good movement, but it's really limited. Up is definitely limited by the hair. Looks down pretty well. Side to side, also kind of limited by the hair. Let's take the hair off here. So you can see it kind of just sits into that groove there. Necklace off. Well, so yeah, kind of the neck actually. The ball on the bottom must be a little further down into the. Well, it's not that far. That's odd. It's kind of limited for how the ball's actually pretty high up. It's kind of small, but it's higher up in the neck, so he should have better range. Even without the hair, the range just isn't there. Has still the same down as well. Side to side's a little bit better without the hair in the way, but here, let's take a look. There's like a little ridge around to hold the ball in, and I feel like I could probably take some of that out and get a little bit better range. What I don't know is if the hair is on, if it even matters. The windblown hair is more out of the way, so it should get you better articulation, but you don't really get better because it's just the neck is kind of limited. So that stinks. We'll have to figure out if we can make that any better. Anyway, okay. Shoulder, it is ratcheted, but you can get up higher than 90, so that's nice. There is a there's not a bicep swivel, it's a swivel in the shoulder. You can see it's kind of like it's kind of like how hips are made. So there's the ball is inside of the sculpt for the shoulder, so you can get a little bit of a swivel right there, and then you also get a swivel at the elbow, which is just a single jointed elbow. You only get to just about 90. Yeah, it's a little bit better than 90. He's kind of a beefy guy, though. It's just the arm is running into the muscle, so you're not going to get much better than that anyway. Even if you had a double jointed elbow, it wouldn't be a whole lot more than that. And then wrists are swivel and a hinge. The weapon holding hands are vertical hinge. Everything else is a horizontal hinge. The torso has a double ball peg as well, and you get a lot of range, but it can get you can end up seeing inside the cavity there a little bit, but it gets really good range going back, great range going forward, side to side, and your swivel's there. There's nothing down here at the waist. Legs go full split there. There's good swivel on the thighs. The only problem is, peeking under the dress here, this is part of the abdomen sculpt, so this is a hard plastic here. So going forward, he doesn't want to go forward without kicking way out, which really sucks. If I can take the body apart, I may look into seeing if I can cut some of that out there so it can be a little bit better. It won't be perfect, but it might be a little bit better because he really can't kick forward at all. It kicks way out. The legs are essentially again the same as like a Mythic Legion's. The swivel, there's a hinge and a pin on the knee from the top going down into a socket in the calf, so the lower leg is what spins, and that acts as your boot swivel for the rocker on the ankle. The ankles are just a hinge and a rocker, but it's a really nice flat rocker. And with the swivel up here, you can get them still into some pretty good poses. It may end up looking a little bit odd sometimes, but you can get him into some really good poses with his legs. Only problem is going forward is very limited. But they weren't going for like crazy level of articulation, but it's definitely good for what it is. Yeah, they were more focused on the aesthetic, which it's based on Frazetta paintings, so I'm all for that. I may see if I can adjust the neck, and I'll definitely adjust the crotch, because yeah, not being able to kick forward at all, that's a bummer. Alright, so now I just want to see if I can get him in kind of some of the iconic poses from some of the artwork he's based on. I feel like the two for sure they mentioned specifically by name were obviously Norseman, and the other is Bloodstone. I feel like he also took, some of the helmet detail and stuff like that's very similar to the Dark Kingdom painting. But first, here, let's get him his staff. We're going to try to do our Norseman right here. The hands are pretty flexible as far as getting weapons in and out. And his legs don't really go backward. Like you can see, kind of his leg is going back a little bit. He can't really do that, but you can turn the leg out and go sideways a little bit. So that kind of gets the same similar idea. There you go. That's pretty good. That iconic painting look going there. I like that. So now for Bloodstone, yeah, he's only got the one gauntlet on, so we'll take off this gauntlet. He needs full hair and a yelling head. While we're here, actually I think this one. See, this gauntlet here, it's a separate gauntlet, so I'm assuming it's the Bloodstone gauntlet, but you can't really tell unless you get super close up on the image what it looks like. It also looks really a lot like the Dark Kingdom gauntlet. So I'm gonna say I'm pretty dead on that. So these two pieces should come apart without, yeah, oh yeah, oh, and his leg popped off too, so there you go, you can do that too. But yeah, those came apart pretty easily, so that's good. Leg pops on and off pretty easily as well. So anyway, you can just take that right up there, or I guess now that his leg can pop off, I know that can happen. Yeah, you could just slip it down that way too. But so you take this, and the bottom of it is split, so you can go directly over. Stretches over the abdomen. If we're going with the classic painting, it doesn't have anything on there, so oh yeah, that comes apart and goes on real easy. Yeah, we're gonna hit the yelling head with some heat because he doesn't want to go on there. Okay, got some heat on it, and there you go. Yeah, pops on much easier. Now that I see that it just doesn't look right. I don't know through all that work to get his head warmed up, and it just doesn't look like the painting, so we're going to come back to this. He can get his legs, he has his legs closer together in the painting, and his shoulders are considerably broader. That's better. Pretty good recreation of that. And now for the Dark Kingdom, I also need the bald head, blown hair, and the helmet. So he's got a lot of stuff on as far like around his waist, so we're not going to swap out any of that stuff, but just get as close as we can with the stuff that we have. We do have the oh, and now that I'm looking at this picture, it has red on the inside, but it has a very similar cloak. So there you go. That's where the cloak comes from. I was right. So it's kind of reaching off to the side, stepping forward, which again is a problem because we cannot move our legs forward. He's got a sword here, and pretend this is an axe. Technically he's leaning forward. Holding an axe off to the side. So that's kind of our Dark Kingdom look. Next we'll do some comparison shots. Here he is with some NECA Dungeons and Dragons figures. Okay, sticking with NECA, here he is with a custom Conan made using the Flash Gordon Ming the Merciless body and a NECA Gargoyles figure. And here he is with some McFarlane 7-inch figures. And now here he is with a custom Conan using a Masterverse He-Man body and the Loose Collector Red Sonja. And here he is with some fairly recent Marvel Legends. Note that the Hercules body and the Power Princess body are a little taller than the average Marvel Legend figure. And here he is with a Savage Crucible Lemurian Slate and a customized AEW Elite Stu Grayson figure. I'm excited to see that it scales really well with Savage Crucible. I have their Warrior with Ball and Chain pre-order from the Kickstarter, and I saw they just showed off a Death Dealer at one of the recent cons. I know they're planning on doing even more Frazetta licensed figures, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. I had to move the camera to fit this big guy in here, but here he is with some Zezre Studios combatants. And finally, here he is with some Mythic Legions. Which I just started collecting Mythic Legions, and man, I'm really excited that we're getting all these amazing fantasy figures. We're really in a golden age of fantasy action figures right now. Mythic Legions, Savage Crucible, Frazetta Girls, Zezre Studios, Conan, Brutal Realm, NECA's doing the Dungeons and Dragons line. I'll even throw Masterverse in there because I have a ton of Masterverse customs, but Sword and Sorcery fans are living well right now, and I love it. Okay, so this video went way longer than I anticipated, so I'm gonna break it up into two parts. We'll end this video here, and in the next video I'll modify his neck and his hips and try to get a little bit more range. The hips especially need some work, but overall I am happy with the figure. It's great. It's a great looking figure. It's got a ton of accessories, so I'm not at all disappointed with it. But for me personally, I'd like the hip articulation to be better, so we'll take care of that in the next video. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment and let me know what you're looking forward to from the Frazetta Girls or Savage Crucible lines. I got my eyes on that upcoming Conan for sure, but hopefully we'll get a bunch more. Anyway, thanks for watching Sarge's Custom Tutorials.